Alright folks, today we're going to be doing a video called The Complete Motorcycle Riding Guide, and I've been wanting to do a lot of these videos because some videos you see that they only teach you about one thing. So what I'm going to try to do is cram everything in you need to know about motorcycle riding in one video. So our motorcycle of choice today, we're on a leader bike. This is a Yamaha R1, so if you can ride this bike, you could ride anything. And so what we're going to do first, we're going to show you what the levers do. If you want to attach a cell phone to your motorcycle, this is a RAM mount right here. It's really great. You could put your cell phone in here and you could drive with the GPS on. And this is like a steering stabilizer, so you don't get like the handlebar wobble at high speeds. And traditionally on Japanese motorcycles, the left side has to do with shifting. So this is the Gearshift lever here, and this is the clutch. We're going to talk about that in a moment. Let's mosey on around to the other side. So you know what the left side is. If you're sitting on it, that's has to do with make sure the lens is clean. That has to do with shifting. The right side has to do with braking. This is the front brake here, and this is the rear brake here. Your heel goes here and your toe goes over here. When we get on the motorcycle, I'm going to adjust the camera facing up a little bit more because the position of the motorcycle is more raked forward where I'm leaning forward. So let's talk about the switches. This red switch right here, this is the kill switch. You're going to notice I flip this on when I want to start the bike. This is the starter here where my thumb's at. And let's look at the gauges. And then we're going to get on. I'm going to show you how to ride and whatnot. You have the tachometer over here on the right, okay? I don't know if you can kind of see in there. And then you have the speedometer here, which is digital when we go to start it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this tank bag in my backpack real quick. Well, wait a minute. I don't think it's going to... I think we'll be okay. Let's see here. I think we're okay. Let's look at the camera. Okay, that's good. Let me tighten it a bit here. There we go. So when I lean forward, it'll be like that. So we're good to go. We are good to go. So watch this. We're gonna flip this kill switch here. Turn the key. I'm gonna make sure the camera is even up higher. We're gonna press the starter. Comes to life. Put the kickstand up. And what you want to do is just pretend this parking lot's vacant here. We're going to back up this way. These guys over here pulling this thing off or putting it on. So let's get out of their way real quick and I'll show you something. So before we get on the, we're going to show you all these things in the video, but before we get on the streets, we're going to show you braking, countersteering. We're going to show you shifting. We're going to show you freeway riding from a first person's perspective, and we'll teach you what you need to know to stay alive. Okay, so now, when you're going to put it in gear, I'm going to show you some stuff. This is the clutch. Watch this. You're going to pull the clutch in. I don't know if you can see the neutral light here because this RAM mount for my cell phone might be in the way, but let's adjust it here. Over like that. There you go. So see the neutral light over here on the right, hopefully. I'm going to pull the clutch lever in, and then I'm going to kick down here on the left. And then I'm going to slowly let the clutch lever out while giving it a little bit of throttle till it's in gear. And let's teach you something. The Gearshift lever and the gears, when you're shifting, just just remind yourself that it's like a ladder. You know how you climb up and down a ladder. So first gear is here, neutral is here between second and first. So if you tap, I should say, slightly upward from first, you'll be a neutral. And if you tap just a little tap slightly downward from second, you'll be a neutral. First neutral, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. You're always kicking up and down that ladder. Okay, so pull the clutch lever in. We're still neutral. Kick down. You'll feel the bike go into gear. Notice the neutral light's off because I'm in gear. But notice we're not moving because I have the clutch lever in. Slowly release the clutch lever. When you feel it start to engage, give it some throttle. Go ahead. Okay, give it some throttle. And now you're in neutral. The clutch is fully engaged, disengaged, I should say. So you kind of do this for like a few times. And now we're going to show you braking. We're going to show you braking. So when you go to brake, let's say you want to, there's two types of braking. Let's get on the street so I can show you, okay? We'll go one more time around. There's two types of braking. Braking with the clutch in, you know, being held, the clutch, and then braking, put the visor down so we don't get wind, and then braking where you're in neutral. So first we're going to show you braking in neutral. Watch. What you do is, remember I'm in first, I'm going to slightly tap up, squeeze the front brake over here with the rear brake. You always want this left foot to go down over here. Your left foot, you want it to go down. Now, let's show you braking with the clutch in. I'm going to go out on the street now. And after you do that a bunch of times in the parking lot, watch, clutch in, I'm braking with the front brake and the rear brake. Get in the habit of having your left foot come down. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go out onto the street. When you first go out on the street, stay away from the cars, try to find an area where you can go. Just keep your distance from cars. So first gear, watch. Release the throttle, clutch in, kick up to second, release the clutch, roll back onto throttle. Yes, you always remove your hand from the throttle when you are shifting. Everyone always asks that. So we're in second right now. We're going to be getting on the freeway, but let's practice our braking. So you're in second. Remember, you want to be downshifting to where you're going to be in neutral by the time you reach the light. Okay, never downshift to first. Okay, that one turned green on me. Let's get on it. Second, third. This bike can go like over 60 just in second gear, so I really don't get to go up a lot of gears because it just goes so fast in the lower gears, so I won't be able to go up a lot of gears until we get on the freeway. So what we're going to do, we're going to stop and we're going to get on the freeway, okay? So let's go, we'll do a U-turn over here. Well, wait a minute, let's stop behind this parked van coming up, okay? So I'm in third, downshift to second, you just watch the tack. Now remember, if I slightly tap down from second, watch what happens. I don't know if you can see that, the neutral light's on. I'm starting to brake. So what you're doing, let's just keep going here. What you want to do is you always want to be upshifting and downshifting up this ladder, matching the speed of the gear that you should be in. Like right now, I shouldn't be in 6th gear, putting along at 23 miles per hour, right? This is more like a 1st gear or 2nd gear speed. So watch this, we're in second, right? Slightly tap down from second. Notice we're neutral, I'm coasting. I don't really do that unless I'm coming to a stop at the light. I won't start coasting, you know, at high speeds like that. And that's why they have it as a gear shift pattern for your safety. Can you imagine if you went from 6th to 2nd on the freeway? You could crash. So now we're going to get it on the freeway. Dear Lord of mercy, protect it. No, I'm just kidding. So notice I'm stopping here with the clutch in because I want to talk to you a little bit. We're about to launch out into the deep. I like to be going at least slightly faster than the other cars. I don't like to be driving next to the car. So you ready? Here we go. Clutch in. Let's go through the gears. First, slowly let the clutch out while giving it throttle on the left. Now the clutch is fully released. Release throttle, clutch in, kick up to second, release clutch lever, roll back onto throttle. We're in second, watch. Release throttle, clutch up to third, release clutch lever, roll back onto throttle. Now on the freeway, speed is life. You don't want to be putting along on the freeway. Clutch in, kick up. So you get the idea. Watch, we're going to shift upward. So what am I going to do? I'm going to release the throttle, pull the clutch lever in here on the left, kick up into the gear, and then I'm going to release the clutch lever. Watch, release throttle, pull the clutch lever in, kick up, release the clutch lever, roll back onto throttle. Now, when you are riding in reality, and you're not doing like a training video, you're going to do it a lot faster. You're not going to be going real slow. For example, watch, I'm going to shift. Let's shift upward one more time. Watch how fast. Release throttle, clutch in. I'm up to 6 right now. See that? So freeway is easy. Just stay away from people on the freeway. Freeway's a lot of fun. We got a lot of bumps here. But freeways, you just go. You don't have to really be braking and all that other stuff. I mean, every now and then you will have to, like panic braking. But you just go. So I would say the hardest thing is like the twisties, because you have to practice on not approaching the curves too fast or too slow for that matter. So where I'm taking you now are some twisty roads that just finished raining today, so you see the cotton candy sky, absolutely stunning. One of the things you'll like about motorcycle riding is just the open air, the openness of it. I'm going to put some other really good motorcycle videos below here. I'm going to put one below where I asked the police officer if he wants to race. That didn't go too good. Fixing my mirror there. Okay, so we're going to go out here. One of the things in California, you are allowed to go in the HOV lane, or the high occupancy vehicle lane. I don't know why they call it that, or carpool lane. They should also call it the motorcycle lane. Also, you want to get some sponge earplugs. These disposable sponge earplugs are really cheap. You get a big bucket of them for a few dollars at Walmart, for example, or Amazon.com, whatever. And I have those on right now. I can hear everything clearly, but it's muffled a little where it doesn't ruin your hearing. So you notice how we're riding on the freeway. I'm taking you to the streets right now and the twisty mountains. But notice how we're riding. Never ride like this if you can help it. See how I'm next to the guy? Don't ride like that. Always have an escape. See how I have like an escape area that I can move to? Now, we see another motorcycle rider up here. See what he's on. Coming up on him fast. Just stopped raining, so everyone's out on their bikes. It's great. So he's got Looks like he might have a camera on his right side. Yeah. So this guy's got a BMW, pretty cool. Okay, so we're going to be switching freeways. I want to show you some counter steering. This is one of the most important things you need to learn so you don't crash. I'm going to make, oh great, I was going to show it to you, but look at the traffic. So I'm going to show you counter steering, don't worry. Let me downshift here. You know, California is the only state where you can lane split. This is lane splitting, so this is something I'll be able to show you. Lane splitting is not for the faint of heart. When I first started riding, I'm like, I'm never gonna lane split, but you get so tired of waiting. This part's not bad, but some guys will do very high speed lane splitting where they cut through the cars like this, and there's always some guy that throws out his hot coffee or cigarette. So this is actually legal in California, this lane splitting. Just have to be alert. This is one of the reasons why I got a motorcycle, so I can go places without having to wait behind the horrendous traffic. Let's talk about gear while we're going. Wow, nice Corvette here. Not to get sidetracked. About motorcycle, you can go faster than a Corvette on a budget. So it's getting to be a tight squeeze right here, look. But we're going to talk about gear. Notice you have protective gloves. I have a jacket. Since we're going slow, I can kind of show you. I'm going to put the jacket up real close to the camera. If you notice closely, there's these little squares. Let's go over here. There's always a motorcycle rider that comes flying through here, lane splitting. Gotta be careful. This is where they come through. Okay. Those little squares in the jacket, it's a mesh jacket, so the air actually blows through. We're doing this live, by the way. I'm not voicing over a video, so I'm talking as like this Audi right here. That should prove that we're doing it live. Well, maybe not. I guess I could voice that over too. But we are doing it live, and got a little ways to go here, and got a motorcycle behind us coming up, so we're going to follow him as we lane split. I don't think he is. Oh, there we go. Figures. As soon as I let him go. So I always like to follow the person that's lane splitting ahead of me, sort of use them as a shield. So we're going to have a sharp corner up here that's going to go to the right. So what we're going to do, hold on, that guy's trying to get in front of me, and I can't do counter steering if he's in front of me. Too close. So that's why I sped up. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pull back towards me on the right handlebar, towards my body, and I'm going to push. Actually, no, wait, it's right. So what I'm going to do is the opposite. I'm going to push forward on the right, apply pressure. I'm going to pull back towards me on the left. And this will lean the bike to the right. Okay? That's what we're going to do. And here it comes. So you see those arrows right there? Watch. I'm going to pull back on the left right now and push forward on the right. I'm just holding steady pressure there, and that takes you through the corner. Still holding it. That's how you do it. Now we have one. This is a great corner here to show you. We have one that's going to the right. It says 35 mile per hour corner, so it's like a sharp one.
what we're going to do is stay on the outside, then I'm going to pull back on the right and push forward away from me on the left handlebar, pull back on the right handlebar, pushing forward on the left, just giving it some, you know, pressure, just like a steady pressure, no jerky movements or anything like that, just like steady like this. What is this dead? Oh, it's a piece of bag, dead piece of bag. So that's how you're going to counter steer. Now this, see, I can lean this, but what happens, the bike is hundreds and hundreds of pounds. So when you're trying to just lean a bike that's hundreds and hundreds of pounds, you ain't going to be able to do it. You're going to have to counter steer. So like right here, I'm counter steering. Sharp corner to the right, notice, pushing forward on the right handlebar and pulling back on the left. Now, some bikes are, see that? Pushing forward on the left, holding it steady. See how it leans the bike? But I had a Katana, and certain bikes are different. Sometimes you'll push the left handlebar, or sometimes you'll pull back on the right handlebar. It's just different. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back now and take those corners, and we're going to do a little quiz, and I'm going to ask you which way would you do the handlebars, okay? There we go. Right here, I'm going to pull back on the right now. Push forward on the left. Pulling back on the left, pushing forward on the right. See, you're just like shifting it like that. You're shifting the weight. Looking for a place to turn around. I do not see any, so we may have to go all the way through the... Another thing too, you don't use your front brake going around corners. You're going to crash. That's a mistake a lot of people make, because, you know, in a car you just brake. You don't have to worry about front brake, rear brake, whatnot. Hold on. Pulling back on the left, right, now. Slightly pulling back on the right here as we go through it. Pulling back on the left here, pushing forward on the right, just a little slight. But don't use your front brake going around corners. I mean, if you really have to brake, just use your rear brake and don't really get on it too much. You know, I never brake going around the corners. You don't want to brake. And matter of fact, what you want to do, you're better off to approach it slower, you know, than you have to, and then have throttle on, a slow throttle hitting that rear tire as you're going through the corner. Great, we got a place to turn around. Those tires act like gyroscopes. They try to keep the bike up. So when you have power going to that rear tire, it tends to keep you on the straight and narrow. So here we go. So what I mean is, don't use the front brake going around corners. And also watch how we brake. See how I have the handlebar straight? Always keep the handlebars straight when you go to brake. Why? You ever see some of these guys, they'll come to a stop and they'll fall over on the bike. And the reason why is they turn the handlebars like this and they come to stop, and all this weight is unbalanced and it shifts to the right or the left and you fall over. So always keep the handlebars straight. Remember, this is the front brake here on the right. This is the rear brake back here. When you're on the bike, traditionally everything on Japanese bikes are braking on the right. This is shifting. You know how to shift. Let's say you're in third gear and you're riding along, you want to go up to fourth. You're going to release the throttle, that's step one. Pull the clutch lever in, that's step two. You're going to kick into the gear you want. Let's say you want to go up to fourth, so that's step three. Then you're going to release the clutch lever, that's step four, and then only then are you going to roll back onto throttle.
tire pressure is also very important on motorcycles, more so. We're going to go after this traffic. A couple more cars. More so than cars, because you really feel the difference in your motorcycle and the way that it handles when you have the proper amount of PSI in the tire. When to shift. Some bikes are different. For example, on the, and I got a lot of bugs biting me, so I'm going to close the visor. For example, on the Ninja 300 or anything like a 500, sometimes 600, the stronger the motor, the less you're going to, excuse me, the less you're going to have to wind it out on the tack. For example, the Ninja 250, you want to ride that thing almost to the red line all the time. Like when you're riding it, it likes to be ridden there. Even the R6 is pretty much a sleeper till you get it up there into the higher band. As you get into the leader bikes, you'll find they're a little more, I guess, torquey, where you could be, like I could be going 60 in first gear in this bike, but you can't really do that on a Ninja 250 or whatever without blowing up the engine. You might be able to do it, I don't know. I know I wouldn't want to try. Now, here we go. What type of motorcycle should you get? Don't listen to what people tell you. Don't even listen to what I'm saying about what motorcycle you should get. You have to choose the motorcycle based on where you're going to ride it. So the R1 is just wonderful for the twisties and freeway riding. Bumper to bumper city riding, why would you get an R1? You know, it's not really needed. Okay, so we're going to do a little test here for you guys. You're approaching this corner to the left. What are you going to do to countersteer? To the left. What are you going to do? That's right. You're going to pull back pressure on the right towards you and push forward on the left. See, this I could lean it, so we didn't have to really do it there. But some corners, you're not going to be able to lean them. And when you countersteer, it's just a lot easier to make the corner anyways. You can practice countersteering even just going straight. Watch, I'm going to pull back on the left, so we're going to go to the right. I'm going to pull back on the right, so we're going to go to the left. And that's basically how it goes. So you can practice that when you're going, peace bro, when you're going even straight. Watch, pull back on the right, I'm moving to the left. Pull back on the left, I'm moving to the right. Another thing too is sometimes your battery will die on you and you'll be stranded. Look below this video. There is a product called Red Fuel, and it's like a jump starter. It's a little battery pack. I have it right now in my backpack. Darn it, I should have showed that to you, but you can see it below in the video below this one. And you'll see an actual video where I'm riding along and there's a stranded motorcycle brother of mine, and I pull over, I'm like, what's the problem? He's, oh, my battery. And I go, hey, I got a jump starter. And so you connect this jump starter to your battery and you go. It beats waiting for AAA or someone with jumper cables. It's great. If you ride where it's very cold, there's these things that Walmart has or any sporting goods store. You use them when you're going camping. They're these little packets about 4 or 5 times as big as a sugar packet. And it even feels kind of like a sugar packet. And you shake it up and it gets real hot. It starts to warm up. And you can put those in your gloves, in your pockets. If you don't have a way to plug in where you can plug in, they have these jackets where you can plug them into a part on your battery and it actually warms you up. I don't really use that a lot because I'm out here like in California. Remember braking? Most of the braking, I heard it's like 80-90% of your braking, around that amount, is from your front brake. Okay, you're going to go left. What are you going to do here? Pull back on the right. Apply pressure forward on the left. So braking, most of your
braking is going to come from your front brake. Again, excuse me, don't brake around corners with your front brake. You have this little patch of rubber from your tires on the asphalt, and you know, when you apply that front brake and you're going around a corner, it's going to lose traction sometimes, too often, and you're going to crash. So you don't approach the corner too fast. You're better off to approach it slow, and then you could accelerate through the corner. All right, I'm going to kind of let these guys go so I can show you the counter steering. Okay, so we're going to have a sharp counter steering to the right. What are you going to do? It's going to go to the right. See it? You can't lean this one. And you know, when there's cars behind you and you don't want to be going moping along real slow. So here's what you do. Stay right here, and as soon as you approach it, pull left. Pull back towards you on the left. I'm applying some pressure to the right. Notice we're keeping it steady all the way through. Let me upshift real quick. It does become problematic when they go into your lane. Okay, we got a sharp one here. What are you going to do? I like to stay on the right. Just make sure you don't go into traffic. Then pull back on the right. Apply pressure forward on the left. Figures he'd show up after my video. We could have mirrored him through the twisty counter steering part, see how he does. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I got some other really good videos below, including the one where I asked the police officer if he wants to race me. That did not turn out good. I don't suggest or advise doing that. But God bless, and have a great week. Thanks for watching. If you know someone that is thinking of riding, or someone that is scared of riding, click share below this video, and then you could send this to them. And we've covered a lot of things, didn't we? We covered braking, counter steering, riding on the freeway, shifting. Remember, the shift pattern is like a ladder. First on the bottom, then neutral, then second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and so forth. So God bless you guys. Have a great week.